This is your 420 Radio News for Thursday, May 15th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. Minnesota is set to become the 21st medical marijuana state if you call a state that doesn't allow absolute marijuana to use medical marijuana state. Minnesota House had passed a severely restrictive medical marijuana bill. In it, only one grow site and 3 distribution centers would be allowed, where the Senate preferred 55 centers total. Marijuana could not be smoked, and vaporization was restricted to use under a doctor's supervision only, where the Senate bill would have allowed unsupervised vaporization. Pain, nausea, wasting, and PTSD included in the Senate bill were not included in the House bill. In compromise negotiations to appease the governor and law enforcement, the House gave in to allow 2 grow sites and 8 distribution centers. The Senate gave in to ban not just smoking of marijuana, but any use of the raw marijuana plant at all. Minnesota patients will only be allowed pills, medibles, tinctures, and vaporizable oils. And pain, nausea, wasting, and PTSD patients need not apply, as they are not covered under the compromise. Keep the new boss, same as the old boss as far as New York City's marijuana arrests go. The city, which had long been America's marijuana arrest capital, released data showing that arrests under the new administration of Bill de Blasio are continuing the 28,000-plus arrests per year trend of the previous Michael Bloomberg administration. Marijuana was decriminalized in 1977 in New York. However, starting with the Rudolph Giuliani administration, NYPD officers would stop and frisk young minority males in minority neighborhoods and ask them to remove from their pockets any weed they detected. Once out of the pocket, that marijuana was in public view, which still remains an arrestable misdemeanor in the state. By 2011, there were over 50,000 marijuana arrests per year. That number declined greatly when NYPD Commissioner Kelly ordered police to abandon stop and frisk abuses, but 28,000 still remains a huge number of very racially disproportionate arrests in a supposedly decriminalized state. A weekend-impaired driving checkpoint in Larimer County, Colorado last weekend nabbed exactly 0 stoned drivers. The checkpoint, part of Colorado Department of Transportation's ongoing efforts to combat impaired driving. From Friday night at 10:55 p.m. to Saturday morning at 2:30 a.m., officers detained 1,572 drivers at the checkpoint. 20 of those drivers were booked for DUI alcohol, but no driver was cited for driving under the influence of marijuana. The one marijuana charge officers did make was for an underage driver found in possession of marijuana and paraphernalia, and there was one charge for minor in possession of alcohol. Television's Dr. Mehmet Oz has become the latest high-profile celebrity doctor to endorse the medical use of marijuana. Dr. Oz told interviewer Larry King, quote, "I grew up with most of my generation thinking that marijuana was something that Satan was throwing at Americans and a communist plot." Dr. Oz continued, "I think that most of us have come around to the belief that marijuana is hugely beneficial when used correctly for medical purposes." Dr. Oz joins ABC's chief medical officer, Dr. Richard Besser, who recently told Denver's The Cannabis that, quote, "I went into this story feeling that I don't think marijuana should be legalized, but I came out of the story thinking, actually, I was wrong." Dr. Sanjay Gupta was the first TV doctor to publicly change his opposition to medical marijuana, writing in an op-ed announcing his first weed documentary, quote, "I've apologized for some of the earlier reporting because I think we've been terribly and systematically misled in this country for some time, and I did part of that misleading." Denver has relented and will allow the classically cannabis Bring Your Own pro-pot concert fundraising series to occur. The Colorado Symphony Orchestra, bending to the requests of the city, made the event's VIP invitation only when the city complained the event would violate prohibitions against open and public pot smoking. Despite the fact the concerts would be held in a private gallery and pot smoking would only be allowed on a private patio. Also, the orchestra removed any references to the concerts on its website and refunded the tickets already purchased by the public to soothe the city that the event isn't open to the public. The orchestra's annual Beethoven and Brews events, however, will remain open to the public, advertised on their website, and allow patrons to enjoy classical music while openly being served legal drugs in public. So the listeners don't have to begin their own supply of drugs. This has been your 420 Radio News for Thursday, May 15th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville from Miami, Florida. Transcripts of 420 Radio News are available at our website at 420radio.org. When we come back, we'll go behind the headlines and take a look at the hemp hysteria of DEA Administrator Michelle Lenhart. State of Kentucky.